I'm gonna get out here and try to slap a few weeds out of this garden. It's corn. It's been awful hot, too hot to be out, for me anyway. And now it's cooled off, and of course it rained a little. I guess we're getting the remnants of Hurricane Beryl, or whatever his name was, that went through. So what we're gonna do, I'm gonna sharpen this hoe up and give it a few licks with a file, because I can tell you, hoeing a garden with a hoe that's not very sharp ain't a bit of fun. So we're gonna knock some rust off this thing and shine the edge up. Get ready to get out there, and it don't take much, I'll tell you, because it's pretty sharp to start with. I want it shaving almost though, because we got some pretty good sized weeds out there that that we're going to take care of. Just give it a few rakes. It's a hoe. It's just a hoe. You get you a little burr on the back of that. I know that a person, it would wear off, but I always like to just rake at one time through there. If you rake at one time, it knocks that burr off. I'm gonna have to hold them ends out because they want to fold in on me. This is just this whole material, some kind of high carbon steel. See, it don't give, but it gives a little. And you shouldn't be bearing down too hard on it no way when you're sharpening them. And just give that a little rake. You can tell when it quits dragging. It quits dragging on your file. Now that's pretty sharp. Now what we're gonna do, we're gonna get out there and hold some of this corn, it's like I said. Because if you put this off, and this corn, it's getting up, Lord have mercy. I never seen corn grow so fast. It's getting up, I guess, close to waist high, at least knee high. And there's some weeds in there that needs to go. So what we're gonna do is get out there and we're gonna chop some of them down. Start out right here in the beginning. I'll show you with a sharp hoe. You can take, look here. I mean, it's just like a sickle. When you get that baby sharp, you can just whack that stuff right off her. Anyway, you probably can't even see it. Looks like the winds got up a little last night. Blowed some of my corn over. So we'll try to maybe tamp it back in. Tamper back in a little bit. I've made a mistake with this corn. I tell you what I've done. I've made a bad mistake with it. And I have made a terrible mistake when I planted this corn. And what I done is I've come through here and I tilled this garden. And when I tilled it, what I done was loosen that ground up. And when I loosen the ground up, it's flat. It's flat to put the hurt on it, I'll tell you it has. As far as the ground's so loose that the corn, there's nothing there to hold it up, tell you the truth. I'm not too worried about that little stuff. It's them big old weeds. And I've got this way too thick too. But you can see where like this is blowed over. I suppose you could see, but I doubt it. I'd be better off walking down through here right again the roots of that corn and tapping that end. Because I'm telling you what I've done is this corn it'd be lucky if it all don't blow over, to tell you the truth. See how far off I am. Knock them weeds down and do your best not to cut your corn at the same time, you know. Or you can cut your corn off. Some of this corn is too close together. If you get a good sharp hoe, you can just lay right into that and just give it a little tug and pull, and it'll get rid of that. I'm not too worried about what's in the row. I can come through and till that with that little tiller. If we can get this corn, or get these weeds out of here, hard to talk at the same time. If we can get them weeds out of there, then what we can do, this corn will get up and it'll shade them weeds, and it'll slow them down to just about no problem at all. But these weeds, this corn, I'm telling you, I'm worried about it blowing over. I'll have half of it chopped off, I'd say. Before it has time to grow. Chop, chop, chop. These people say it's cheaper to buy the corn than it is to get out here and work the corn. You know, they're probably right. Ain't near as much fun though, is it? You just have to put a little effort in. And this patch right here is over here where this garden has not been maintained as far as weeds very well over the years, because it used to be an orchard. And it don't take much for these weeds to want to encroach in on your stuff you plant. You just have to go around it, take your time, work them weeds out of there. You can either chop them like this, or you can pull them. And I don't want to be pulling them, so I'll chop them. It just takes a while. Now this won't have to be done. See, I cut that stalk probably in two. This type of corn, the seeds was fairly little. See how it goes through here. But you can see how you can walk through there and chop them weeds down. I mean, my goodness. I won't run this long because there ain't nobody wants to sit and watch this. Now my little cedar missed some right through here. Hit and miss some. I think my cedar kind of bogged down on me right in there. That probably would be a good place for a coon to come in. Be a good place for a coon to come in and good place for a coon to come in and have a party. A coon party. This will not stand up if I don't do something. I get this weeded. I think what I need to do is come through here and take my feet and stamp that in. I'll tell you, I think that's what it's going to take, because it ain't going to take much of a breeze. If this corn is blowing over now, you know, in the more wind than we had, of course I don't know how much we had, it will be terrible. When it gets up, it'll never be able to support itself. Them roots don't get down there. As a fact, I knowed when I planted this corn on this side that it was going to be a doozy. I'll sit down here just a second and I'll turn the cameras off and I'll go through here and weed this, because like I say, there's no use and no need for me to sit here and have this camera running hoeing corn. I'll get her caught up, and then it stays pretty sharp, I tell you. Stays pretty sharp. Every once in a while you just hit that couple licks while you're hoeing. Oh yeah. It's like I say, when I get almost done here, I'll turn you back on. Oh, got that done. That didn't take too long now, did it? Didn't take too long. Only thing I don't like is sweat running down in my face. Let me go over here and see right here. See that big piece of skin hanging there? It's called a blister. That's called a blister. That's called hoeing corn. You can't run to the doctor and get you a little neosporin and all that stuff. Rub your little garden dirt in that blister and just keep it going. It'll help dry it out in a hurry. If you got a lot of corn to hoe, you just rub that dirt on there and just keep right on hoeing. And if you're real lucky, you won't wear another on top of that one. Yes, sir. That's the way she rolls. That didn't take too long to run through there and do that. Just the idea of doing it's worse than doing it. I don't mind doing it with a sharp hoe. Good razor sharp hoe. That back I always like to knock that burr off. Unnecessary, you don't have to. But it'll fine tune that hoe. And then it's just like, it just cuts. It just cuts, man, that's all I can say. It just cuts. Good and cool. I mean, I don't know what it is. I'd say it's put right close to 80. Overcast. Good gentle breeze blowing. You can see under that corn now, weeds laying all over it. Again, that corn, on it, all of it, I'm gonna say, this corn over here, of course now, I can't say much difference other than this garden is lots of organic matter in it. I mean, a lot of organic matter in it. This one to the side here, most of it's got organic matter in it. Down by the road where I grow the hickory king corn, which I didn't grow this year, is just dirt. It's just earth. No organic matter in it, other than what gets tilled in when you're plowing it and tilling it. But I don't know how strong. Well, the wind, I think, got a 14, 15 mile an hour last night, which that's not anything out of the ordinary around here. It usually gusts at 5, 8 mile an hour. But now I had some corn here that was blown over. I've got some over there that's not bad, but now the corn's not that, you can see how tall it is. It ain't that tall. Let me see how tall it is. I didn't even look. It's knee high. I'll call it knee high, but it, you know, it's knee high. And it's already blowing over. Just like I said, I don't know how much or how hard the wind blowed last night. Just like I say, the hurricane, it went through, bypassed us. I mean, we just got some of the outer bands. The remnants, what used to be, I guess it's a tropical storm or a thunderstorm, I don't know what you want to call it. It went all the way up through Illinois, through Indiana. I think it's going all the way up to Maine. They did have tornado warnings out here last night till midnight, which I noticed about 1 o'clock in the morning. It was, before I went to bed, it was kind of gusting. I think I saw it get up to 14 miles an hour, and I'd say that's when the corn went down. What I was saying is lots of organic matter in here. And I got in here and I tilled this. Naturally, anyone probably would. I may have tilled it. I've been thinking I'm gonna have to raise that tiller up, not take that tiller very deep. In other words, just skim the top of it. Just tear them little seed plants that try to come up rather than getting it deep, because, you know, you till that deep, it'd be good if I need probably to get me some kind of roller to roll that with. Some kind of packer that will pack that down after I till it, because, you know, your corn sprouts and grows, and if you've got it tilled that deep and it's, you know, got lots of organic matter in it, and then you get that corn when it gets up, you know, 3 or 4 foot tall, well, it's just sitting in a loose pile of dirt. I think that's one reason that I'm having trouble with some of this corn blowing over. I'm gonna have to get me a packer, or make me one out of a 55-gallon drum or something, or ride a 4-wheeler back and forth across it, or put the tracks on that skidster and drive it back and forth. That'd pack it. Maybe too much, but it's going to have to be packed for the corn. I believe that's a fact. Now, we'll be fine if the wind don't get up a big windstorm. Of course, now it's likely that'll happen. It's likely that there'll be lots of wind blowing in the near future. But just like that corn over there blowed down twice, once this year and last year. And I have had a patch over here where I've got that far patch. It blowed over 1 year. I ain't got much. It's going to do what it's going to do. I'm not worried about it, but I think that the biggest problem I'm having is the corn's growing in too looser ground. It gets up there, you know, that corn gets up there 8, 9 feet. If it ain't got some good roots down in there, it's gonna blow over. And there ain't a thing that I can do. I could. No, that corn's too big to even think about doing it now. If it was out in the field, I could. That's it. I might go through there with a hoe one more time. At the rate that's growing, I don't think I'll have to. I think my biggest worry will be wind hitting that and blowing it over. And if it blows it over, it's just over is all I know. Well, I'll go through and try to stand this up. This is golden queen corn over here. And on that far end's golden queen. And then I've got another patch, the last I planted, and that's the same as that's over here, which was called Incredible. And it's all coming on pretty good. But that's something you got to do. You've got to hoe your corn, people. Not many times. Just try to knock them weeds out. If you can get them weeds down and don't let them weeds take over the corn, then the corn will most of the time choke the weeds out. That's about all I know. All I know is that this is very much needed and appreciated weather right here. I mean, it's nice compared to what it's been. Yesterday evening, the heat index here was 114 degrees. Now, that's getting up there. I mean, you don't need to be out working in that at all. If you're young and 25-year-old, you can dive in there, get out there in it. It won't hurt you. I've done it many times. Working it, and I don't mean the heat index. I'm talking about regular temperatures up 103, 104 degrees, 105. Burn your nose when you breathe. I walked out last night before I went to bed now. Just like I say, yesterday evening, the heat index, that was before the sun went down. But last night, yesterday evening, is after dark, I walked out and man, it was like you walking into a sauna. It was muggy and hot. But that passed, and that, whatever this, I don't know what this is, but the relief that it gave us here. But I'm glad. At least you feel like getting out and doing something. When it gets up ridiculously screaming hot, I'm not fooling with it. Of course, that's an excuse. You get older, you can use them excuses, I guess. Ground's too wet, too windy, too hot. Fall time, just right. Gets down there about 65 degrees. I'm not griping. You just take it as it comes. That's all you can do. Take it as it comes. It's good to have 4 seasons. If it stayed hot year round, I couldn't. If it stayed cold, I wouldn't like that. If it got perfect and stayed 70 degrees, 72 degrees, good cool breeze, gentle breeze blowing, we'd be harping about it being too windy or needs to warm up or something. Never can be satisfied. Human nature, I guess. I don't know what it is. Some people seem to be satisfied. Like me, I'm satisfied right now. I got a good cold glass of water. I seen a few tomatoes up there on the end ripening. I mean red, let's put it that way, red. But I bet you, I'm gonna go up there and I'm gonna get I'm gonna get one of them tomatoes. Let me just hang on, I'll go get one. See what it looks like. I'm gonna work on that okra again. Now, that's just what I was thinking about these tomatoes. This tomato right here, you can see, I don't know what these are. Again, I don't know what they are. But you can see the bottom of that one rotted out. This one here on the sides, you can see a spot on it. And here's one that's got a spot on it. And then another bad spot right there. That's where it's been laid again, the stalk. But now it's like I said previously in a video the other day, that these, I didn't do anything to this garden. I didn't put no lime, no nothing. I may have to mix me some up. I'm going to try not to, just see what they do. May have to mix up some lime and water these tomatoes to get rid of that blossom end rot, if that's what it is. It may not even be blossom end rot. But these tomatoes, I don't know, I don't know where this tomato come from. It's a funky looking lobed all the way around. I didn't have no such. I just don't know. But one like this, see, you can cut that out, I think. Let's see. Yeah. See, that goes plumb down like that, but now you want to get all that out of there. Just turn her down in there and get that piece out. Gone. Nothing there. Then get this tip, this end out. There's no blossom end right in the tip of that. That's just the end of it. And then you've got a pretty good tomato. Little bruised place right there. Get it out, because I'm fixing to eat this tomato. I'm gonna devour it. See if it's any good. Good tasting tomato. Not, it's not got any sweet. Not got too much acid in it. Pretty meaty tomato. It's not dead ripe. I don't know what kind it is. Looks like some kind of heirloom tomato. I've probably got them mixed up a little bit. Ain't but one, maybe one or two plants like that. It's like I was talking about some of them peppers. They may get mixed up. You take a few seeds, one or two seeds, get mixed in with a big bunch of other seeds. Someone's gonna get them seeds. I may have got some. Good tasting tomato, but I'd be glad to give it back to them. I don't want them. Now here's another one. I'm gonna eat it too. This is a complete different, I mean, not different, same variety off the same plant, except this one is ripe. It's almost dead ripe. See if the taste is any different. We want to check the taste out before I start broadcasting here. I'll tell you, that almost makes me think of a beefsteak. Yes, sir. That's what that tastes like to me. Tastes like a beefsteak, which, as we know, that ain't bad. Come out here and eat dinner. I'll just tell you, stuff like this right here, This is why I grow a garden. You're not going to go to the grocery store and buy a tomato that tastes like that. No. You might go to a farmer's market and find something like that. You might. Okra, that's ready to be picked again. I'll have to do that in a minute too. Well, some of that's good, but these little ones is much better. Tenderer. By far. Taste is the same though. Well, I didn't cut but a couple of corn stalks off while I was weeding it. It's amazing. This patch was planted after that one on that end down there. And this one is running off and leaving that one down there. And I'm going to say the reason it is catching that morning sun coming in here. Is what I'm thinking. I'm going to have to wind that cord up, my string, get it out of them weeds, then I'm going to have to run that lawnmower down through there and take care of it. That's the only bad thing, even that plastic. I mean, you put plastic down stuff all the way around it, so you're going to have to deal with weeds. It makes me want to bring out the WD or the Roundup sometimes. But I ain't. I'll just mow it, chop it, whatever I got to do. I put a couple loads of, not loads, a couple of dippers of mulch, wood mulch, fresh right there. And you can go over there and look and you won't see not one weed growing in there, not one weed. I planted and pulled me up a fig tree and transplanted it over there. It's not looking too swift. I don't know if it'll live or not, but it might. It might take root and grow. This chestnut tree is loaded this year. If they produce chestnuts, they're loaded pretty good. Pretty good. There'd be several maybe. This apple tree right here, I pruned one over there and killed it. I killed it. And this one right here, I'd say that I've killed it too. Too shady in here for them. They gotta have a little shade. Everything's growed over them. There's no way that I'm gonna cut the trees it's producing away from something that don't produce nothing but bug-laced apples. And that's all I get. And you've got to spray and take care of your fruit trees, apple trees and stuff. I've got one apple tree right there. And I don't want them interfering with my persimmon tree. I like my persimmon tree, even though you just get a few persimmons in the fall. I like it. I like it. This apple tree here needs to be gone. Let's not get to dwelling on it. All right, that'll be it today. Corn patch hoed.